Hi there. Thanks for joining me today. I am Carol, one of your Winterbox reviewers, and I live in Singapore where the weather is always hot and humid. And for my skin type, it's actually oily combination, and my pores are forever clogged and they're pretty big. So if you have similar skin issues, right? So hopefully you'll be able to learn today if the upcoming Sabbatical Beauty Winterbox is a good fit for your skin issues or not. And just like you, I'm an ordinary person. I'm not a beauty influencer who gets paid for her reviews, and I'm just trying to find the best products that suits my skin. So I thought that for today, right, I will be sharing with you what has been going on into week 2 of me trying out the Winterbox items. So what better way to do it than, to show you what goes on when I put them on. So this morning, right, I have actually washed my face, and in the video I'll be putting on my AM routine. So just now I've actually used the vacuum cleansing oil as the first step, and the second, right, would be the Rise Against the Patriarchy cleansing milk. They are still sitting inside the bathroom, which is why I'm not showing you the bottles here. But my first two steps would be the double cleansing, BCO, and the Rise Against. Okay, so I'm going to take off my specs now, and FYI, I am going to be blind when I don't have them with me because this is 800 degrees. So don't be surprised if I look at anywhere but the screen. Anyway, I'm not looking at the screen now because I have no idea where the camera is. But that being said, okay, let's start. So off the specs go. Okay, so the first step, right, okay, it's a miracle I can still recognize the bottles because I actually lie them all, they are all properly queuing up, waiting for me to use them now. So after my double cleansing, what normally goes on would be the toner. So what I have here is, right, okay, the Maple Essence toner. So that would be the third step of my AM routine. So normally what I do is, yes, I still use a cotton pad because my skin is always so oily. If I were to just pat it on, right, it still feels good, but at the end of the day, when I use a cotton pad, no matter how many times I cleanse, it can be double cleanse, it can be even triple cleanse, the cotton pad would actually still come up as pretty dirty. It's okay now because I cleansed my face quite thoroughly last night before I went to bed. So this morning I did a double cleanse again. So the cotton pad looks pretty okay. But trust me when I say at the end of the day, right, it can come off with still, dirt on it, even after I did a triple cleanse. So I have to use a cotton pad. So that is third step. In the morning, right, after I tone, what I would still do is I'm incorporating the Winterbox items into my usual routine. So I will still put on coconut. So there's only a little bit left. So yeah. This one I will put on quite a bit. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, which is why I run out of coconut so quickly. So I will just also pat it on. Okay, so this is my AM, my go-to every morning. Okay, it smells so good, right? Okay, so before I started using the Winterbox items, my go-to after the coconut serum will be the red wine pressed serum. But right now, since we are all testing stuff from the Winterbox, so my next item, right, would be Radiance. Oh, there's a cotton on my finger. And I now use Radiance in the morning and in the PM. But the difference, right? Okay, can you see? Because I can't see. I'm not even sure whether can you read the word Radiance. I'm so sorry. The difference being in the morning, I'll put on less because I'm afraid that the warm weather would actually make my skin give out more oil later. At night I will use more. So in the morning, right, what I normally do is just only 2 drops of the Radiance. Okay. When I put on my serums, especially the thicker ones and like Radiance with a little bit of an oil inside, right, I like to rub my hands together and then just pat it in and use the heat to really send the serum into my skin. This is what I do. And Radiance, it actually has a little bit of a smoky scent to it that I pretty like. So I'm right now imagining if there is really winter in Singapore, right? And then I have a fireplace in front of me with the weather so cold outside and a mug of hot cocoa next to me. And then I do this and let all the serum soak in. And with all the heat, right, this is going to feel so good. But too bad, there's no winter here. So even those radiance can feel a little bit oily when you put it on. Can you see? It's actually not oily, alright? I'm not sure is it because it's that easily absorbed or because the rubbing together in the hands and therefore the heat actually forces all the serum in. I have no idea, but I think it has absorbed. So next up, I think you can see the bags and all the dark circles, right? I don't normally sleep enough. I go to bed at 12 a.m. and I wake up at 5 a.m. So that has been going on for years and years. So I'm wondering if like a gallon of bright eyes will work for me or not. I mean, my eyes look better these days, but trust me, if you have seen me before I actually discovered bright eyes, you will run away just from one look at me because they are so horrible. So this is bright eyes. Okay. In the past, before winter box, after Red Wine Press serum, right, it would just be pearl. But because I am also testing Donkey Cream, and like I was saying, I'm actually pretty surprised that this has not made me oily at all, because I find that it is actually pretty rich and it's very hydrating. So I won't use a lot. In the morning, I actually use the same stuff as my PM, more or less, but the amount that I use, right, is actually half of what I used in the PM routine. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like that. So just, it's really a very, very light layer. So like, I don't think you can see much, but trust me, it's there because I can feel it. I can feel the slight oily film. But because I put on such a thin layer, before you know it, right, it's actually also absorbed. So if I put on the amount I put on before I go to bed at night, I think my face would erupt in oil throughout the day. I'm not sure I want to try that, but right now in the morning, a very fine layer actually works. So my skin isn't oily during the day. So after the cream, right, in the past, like I say, I would put on my pearl. So pearl normally goes on a little bit thick, so I wouldn't use too much, also probably 2 drops. And for those of you who finds application of pearl to be quite messy because it's very thick, it doesn't even flow. Same, like I said, all the thick serums, right, I would rub them between my palms and then I would just press them in so that I don't even have to spread them all over. I would just press them in. This is normally what I do when I put on the serums, the thicker ones especially, and the beauty oils. I mean, it has worked for me, so I'll just keep on using that. Alright, so this is normally what goes on for my AM routine. After that, right, I'll let this sit in for a while, then I will put on the sunscreen. Okay, so where are my specs? Okay, so basically that is my AM routine, and for my PM routine, right, I would actually use the Bamboo Cleansing Balm. I find that this is such a luxurious feeling, but it's because it's more oily than the VCO. So normally what I do is, instead of just splashing it off or just washing it off, I like to use a warm wet towel to wipe it off, and it takes everything off. So this is actually very good as well. So in the morning I would use VCO, at night I would use Bamboo, so Bamboo, and then followed by Rise Against the Patriarchy as a second cleanse. After that, right, normally what I do when I come up from the bathroom, doing the rest of the routine, I would actually use first serum, Lotus Serum Mist. Okay, I'm so sorry the words have all fallen off. It shows how much I've been using it recently. So Lotus, either Lotus or the Asian Powerhouse, okay, as a first serum. Or maybe even 5 ginseng. I can't find this little bottle. Maybe my girl has taken it away. That would be the first serum, followed by, right, okay, Radiance. Where is my Radiance? Okay, Radiance. And on days whereby I do not mask, because normally I would actually use either the milk cream mask or the botanical gel mask alternately on different days. So on days whereby I do not mask, probably I'll put on the pumpkin spice latte because it's very hydrating. So either pumpkin spice latte first, followed by Radiance, or just probably Radiance. And after Radiance, right, I would probably use Donkey Cream or the Snow Sleeping Cream. Yes. And for my eyes at night, I would put on the anti-aging eye gel oil that everybody loves and I also love. Okay, and I have not been using any beauty oils ever since I started using Radiance, because I felt that it has an oily feel, even though the skin absorbs it beautifully. But I don't think I need the beauty oil ever since I've started on the winter box, because everything is so hydrating. But yeah, I think it's enough to keep my skin moisturized. Just, from Radiance and Donkey Cream and Snow Sleeping Cream, I really do not need the beauty oil for the duration of me using all these beauty winter box items. So that is my normal routine. At night, when I actually wash my hair, I would also put on the coffee hair oil and the rose hip healing oil, right? I have been using them not on my face, surprisingly. I have actually been, because I followed my girl out for all her art lessons, you will see it from my daily post, I have been getting a lot of mosquito bites. So I actually use them on my mosquito bites and it's working beautifully. So there was a very bad one. To do something really unladylike. Okay, oh dear, can you see? There is one scar here. It was really bad. I scratched it until it actually, it was bleeding, and I used the rose hip healing oil on it for 2 evenings and it dried up. The scab has actually fallen off. I don't think it would leave a very dark pigment here, but we shall monitor that. But the rose hip healing oil is the one that actually, helped me. How do I put it? It was bleeding and the itch doesn't go away, but once I applied the healing oil, amazingly, it stopped itching. So it's actually a fantastic, what is the word, like medicated oil, but it's not medicated. It's just very good for healing. Okay, so with that, right, I think that's about the change. So I've completely removed rose foaming cleanser, okay, from my routines, and I've replaced it with the Rise Against the Patriarchy cleansing milk. And other than that, I've been using both masks, alternatively on different days. And Radiance has gone from only once in the PM to twice AM and PM now. Just that in the morning I use half of what I normally use in the PM routine, because I don't want my face to be overloaded with all the serums before I go out for my daily work. So I think that about covers it. If you have any questions, right, after you've seen the video, just feel free to leave any comments below, and when I see them, I'll get back to you. Alright, so I think that's all for today. Just to reiterate, I'm not a beauty influencer, so I'm not being paid for my reviews. And if you feel that you want to join us more online, you can always come to look for us on www.facebook.com/sabbaticalbeauty to interact with the rest of the community and with us. Okay, so with that, that's all for today, and join me for other videos. Alright, thank you, bye bye.